goodness. Big move Monday. Look out. A way to end the tournament.
So what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Quad Pod, sponsored by Poseidon Strength and Adidas Wrestling. Make sure you're using those discount codes at checkout. Shout out to our sponsor, Poseidon Strength, who was at Pennsylvania States last weekend. A lot of different people got to try out their equipment. So shout out to them for making sure they were in the house for all that. As always, it's great to be joined by Robbie, Austin, and Kevin. I'm Holmes, and we appreciate you guys listening to episode 51. This is the Dick Butkus, Randy Johnson, Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Norton Jr. episode. So we're going full Hall of Famers with this one. Never knew so many guys wore 51, but they did, and they were absolutely incredible, which is what we can say about this past weekend of conferences. But before we do, we're going to jump in and we're going to weigh in first. And my weigh in is a shout out to Nazareth Blue Eagles, the sweatshirt, not a coincidence. Shout out to my old head coach, Dave Kroll. If you've listened to this or us speak at any point, you've probably heard me talk about this man. Huge impact on my life, so many other wrestlers' lives, whether you wrestled for him or just know him. But it is a testament to him that he can continue to put guys on the podium as well as bring home state titles year after year. So many different personalities and wrestling types, and he translates it every single year. So shout out to them. And second shout out also to Lehigh women for capturing a couple of national titles, as well as putting some women onto the podium as well. But I'm going to kick it over to Austin because I'm pretty sure he's going to continue the D11 love, honestly.
I'm going to say I'm wearing my Northampton wrestling shirt. I actually went to this high school. I'm not a poser like Holmes.
Hey, listen, my head coach is a champion, damn it.
That's true. I love Coach Crowell. He's been there forever. Really one of the best dudes in the sport. Just amazing what he does there. One of his proteges, Joe Pravini, is actually the head coach at Northampton now. So it's good to see him. And Northampton was number 3rd in the state, 2 state champs. Gabe Ballard at 152 was a state champ. He's a junior committed to Lehigh, so he's staying local. Good get for them. Braden Wenrick was a champ at 114. He's only a sophomore, not committed yet, but he's going to get some big looks. And Trey Wagner, who was a state champ, I believe, as a freshman, just got 7th as a senior this year at 139. He committed to Air Force. So they got a good contingent there. And I was talking to Lehigh staff this week at EIWAs. They had 4 Pennsylvania State champs and 1 runner-up. So their next 2 recruiting classes are going to be top-notch there, and Ballard's one of them. I don't want to take full credit for Ballard and Wenrick winning. I did a summer of training with them. I think it was 11, 12 years ago now.
Made all the difference.
Yeah, just really good families, homegrown Northampton guys, didn't transfer in, never left, which is not quite as it's a little more rare these days. So congrats to those guys and proud of my K kids.
Nice. Robbie?
A couple shout outs. One, the operations for the ACC tournament. Brandon Neff is the tournament director for the ACC, or champ. I don't know what his title is, championships director. And Kevin Davis is the comms director. They both did a fantastic job this weekend, running things, keeping everything moving smoothly. It's a very, very long day at the ACC tournament. I was there from, I think, 8 a.m. to almost midnight last night. I got back home, had a 2.5-hour drive after that. So I got home around 2:30. So it was a very long day. But they kept it running smooth. It was a good tournament. Did a good job keeping things going. The other one, I give a shout out to Reed Monahan, Bobby Schreiner, and Pastor Pete for UVA. They run a devotional before the tournament every year, and it's kind of cool to see. I was part of it this year, and just having all the coaches come together and some of the younger coaches on staff being a part of that and kind of sharing some brotherhood was really cool. I certainly appreciated it. So shout out to Reed. He does a really good job with that.
Claunch?
First shout out goes to Randy Johnson's nickname, the Big Unit. That's about as good as it gets. I mean, he's 6'10", but damn.
Take it easy, Robbie. Take it easy.
Big Unit is such a fantastic nickname. I wish that was my nickname, really. It wouldn't be true.
No, you're stuck with a little Bo Peep.
I know, right? Also, Smooth transition. Shout out to Scotty Sentes, former Campbell head coach. That's why I'm wearing the hat here.
I have questions now.
Current executive director of the Wrestlers in Business Network. But I just loved seeing him in the corner for Tay Gadali's NCAA or Big Ten finals match. That was awesome. Obviously, Tay was at Campbell while Scotty was there before transferring to Michigan. So that was just really cool. And then Scotty tweeted out the kind of Tay's story or the article on his whole progression and struggles and overcoming a lot of obstacles. So very, very cool stuff. People should check that out. Also, I wanted to shout out Grand Valley State University's women's team placing 4th at the NCAA women's tournament. In particular, they had Katie Lang, who was an NCAA champion at 138 pounds. Rayana Sahagan at 103 was a runner-up. Sage Mortimer at 110 was a runner-up. Sabrina Naus at 207 was a runner-up. And then they had several other All-Americans, Noelle Gaffney, Aspen Blasco, and Margaret Berman. So shout out to them. Just really, and Jake Short, head coach there. They've done a really good job since bringing that program back, and to be able to step into such a competitive and exciting tournament and have that kind of success, have an NCAA champ, have several All-Americans was really, really cool. So shout out to that entire program, probably about 30 minutes just northwest of me. So good for them.
Seemed like other than Bitegate, that tournament went really, really well for the first NCAA women's tournament. So, congrats to all the ladies who took part in that and brought home the titles and put on a show. It was from what I got to watch, was really entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, Bitegate really got a lot of the shine, didn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's pretty shitty. I mean, for first year for their tournament, and I did shout out Lehigh, but I want to name Jimenez and Abby Cooper, and obviously Aubrey Krazer, another Lehigh Valley wrestler, wrestled at Easton, and bringing back some hardware from the first one. It's honestly really cool that they have their own tournament, and I saw a lot of people talking about, like, hopefully it grows to where they have their own weekend and it's not overshadowed. And I think it would be maybe awesome if it was this coming weekend, right? Like, it's in between the conference weekend and the NCAA men's tournament, where it just continues on down the line, right? So hopefully at some point that does happen, but it's awesome that they had a tournament. We had a comment about not mentioning the women's tournament last week, so certainly is basically just an oversight, right? Like, not even thinking. We did know what was going on. I think it was in our notes and just completely missed it. So taking full responsibility of us missing it. But when you see all the action, you see these different women grabbing the titles and getting to the top of the podium, and and having the thrill of winning an NCAA title, something that they've never had before. Or obviously they have had national champions and national championship, but being recognized as an NCAA sport. And then, having Jordan Burroughs and I believe it was Sarah Hildebrandt that were doing commentary for them. I honestly clicked off of watching ACC's last night, and the women's finals were on. So, like, I just, clicked over and watched matches that I had missed on the women's finals last night. So awesome that I was able to just kind of watch this on television, or at least be able to catch some of the action and everything else. But, awesome for them to be able to have that platform and everything else. Did you guys catch any of the women's tournament? What did you guys think of it?
I got to see some of the earlier rounds yesterday. I was clearly a little busy at ACC's, so I'll have to go back and watch the finals. But some really good wrestling. I love, and I know that there's been kind of some controversy about D3 being a part of it and whether they want to split off and have their own, and kind of the back and forth on that. But I thought it was really cool to see, the bigger programs with Iowa and Lehigh coming together with the smaller programs or smaller schools who have been around and have really established really good programs. So I thought it was really cool to see them kind of on the same platform. And, with McKendree winning it over Iowa, getting second, that's kind of a statement to the established programs and how, how much of a mark they've made in the time they've been there. So, I'm just glad to see that they're having the opportunity and getting that spotlight. Yeah,
I was pretty locked in when I could be. Just to go back on one thing you said, though, too, Holmes. I mean, they can't do it next weekend because that would make entirely too much sense. I feel like somebody would be like, how about we do it from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m.? And someone would be like, great idea. And then they would fucking try that shit first. So anyway.
Yeah, we got D2s and D3s next week. So there's no good time. Like it's always going to compete against something.
It's going to compete against, no matter what, somebody's going to be like, oh, well, that's basketball tournaments are going on. You think you're going to draw people away from that? It's like, that's not who the market is, right? Like we're going against wrestling.
They're not going to watch that anyway.
Yeah, it's busy. It's a busy time, or if you do it earlier, then you're competing against high school state tournaments, right? Like it's just, there's never going to be a perfect place to put it, but it's going to get the people that it's supposed to get. But no, I was trying to watch Sage Mortimer because I was like, oh, she's going to win it. But then Jimenez was like, nope, not today. And I was texting you guys. I mean, she's little, but thick. Like, and I mean that in a good way. Like, I don't mean that in a really shitty, like weird, we're talking about girls way. Like, this is just like Sage Mortimer is an accomplished, freestyle wrestler, and Jimenez like shut her down. So. Very impressive.
Yeah, Jimenez wrestled, I think, Hildebrandt in the Olympic trials, and Hildebrandt was a full, at least foot taller than her. And to your point, Jimenez isn't very big; she's short, but she makes up for it in the thickness and just meanness. She's freaking great. I love it.
Yeah, she's feisty.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of awesome to have Division III schools in there right now. Obviously, I'm speaking completely on behalf of the fact that I was a Division III athlete, but and I'm going to shout out Wilkes University where I went. They had 3 girls make it onto the podium, and they were top 10. So pretty incredible for a school that is in their first year of having a program, and they're also led by a coach who wrestled in the Lehigh Valley as well. But like to have Division III athletes in with the high level Division I athletes and girls that are on world teams and, competing at the Olympic trial. Like, I think it's just kind of a lift all boats kind of a situation. Eventually, I think it splits. I think that is what the game plan is. But for now, to have them all together and being able to compete against, the Kennedy Blades and everybody else, like, I think that's amazing. So eventually, again, it will split off. But for the first year, having one giant tournament and seeing Division III athletes on the podium next to Olympic silver medalists, I think is pretty awesome, to be honest. Let's turn the page and talk about conferences. And let's honestly start in the ACC. It's not alphabetical, but let's start in the ACC.
Well, it is alphabetical if we start with the ACC.
It is, but I'm not doing it on purpose, is what I mean.
It covers all the coasts, so we're locked in.
It does, covers all the coasts. The All Coast Conference is why we're going to start there. I thought it was, obviously phenomenal tournament. Robbie, you were there, got great interviews. Everybody seems to really like those interviews. If you haven't already seen them, either head to our Twitter account, or you can head to literally this page on YouTube and check everything out. We've got all the things in there. I think I have to just get Coach Roby's interview uploaded and on there, which will be posted as well. But good competition as always, no matter what conference we're talking about. Reffing inconsistencies were just rampant, just all over the place. But Robbie, I'm going to turn to you. What was ACC's like, atmosphere, wrestling wise, all of it?
I mean, atmosphere was fantastic. They broke the attendance record. They broke it, I think, the last 2 years. I think like 46 or 4,800 this year. So great crowd. It was very much a home mat advantage for Virginia Tech. Shout out Jude and Sam there. But they, and the Tech guys kind of hit on that in their interviews too. Like it felt like a home duel for them. Very supportive, but like always, I mean, UNC had a really good section. NC State had a really good section. And obviously Stanford didn't have a huge section, but a lot of parents there. So good support for them, but crowd was fantastic. Setup was great. obviously we'd love to have it as a shorter day, but next year it's moving to 2 days. So we shall see how that goes. I'm not sold on that, but the coaches seem to be much more in favor of that because it's a very long day full of ups and downs for them. But as far as wrestling goes, fantastic.
4692 was the attendance record.
There we go. So I mean, it's great. It was a really great environment. Other than the shitty parking attendant who didn't want to let me in, but I parked where I wanted to anyway. So showed her. But yeah, and I mean, all in all, Virginia Tech won it. 8 finalists, 5 champs, sent in all 10, and then Stanford was actually, head to head with them until about halfway through the finals. It looked like it could be. Stanford had a chance to win it. With the number of head-to-head finals they had they all gone in Stanford's favor, Stanford would have took the title. So they're right there. And that, again, we've talked all year about the team that Stanford is and the talent that they have. That's without 2 All-Americans. Mm-hmm. So they're only going to continue to get better. And that team is very likely going to cause some problems for people next week in Cleveland.
Yeah. The matches that stuck out to me just watching the finals, and we talked about it before coming on, and we talked about reffing inconsistency and stuff, but it was the match at 74. It shouldn't have went to overtime. And if Maddie Singleton was going to get hit with another stall warning, maybe it should have come earlier. Not when he was fully engaged and in the middle of the mat. They were on the ACC logo and got hit for stalling. Ultimately, he pulls out the win, but it's very weird to be engaged in the middle of the mat, underhook, tying a guy up. Yes, it is defending, but you see guys defending. Yeah, you see guys not engaging at all. He's still in a tie and everything else. So that match kind of stuck out to me. Obviously at 33, Seidel is ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. And it was interesting to me in his, was it maybe, I mean, you interviewed him twice, one after the semis, one in the after the finals, where he said something about proving people wrong. And I was like, there is this some guys will manufacture certain things. They will. I don't think he really has too many people to prove wrong, but that was interesting to me. What did you make of that, Robbie? You obviously were the one having a conversation with him.
He was very stuck on the fact that he did not finish Tyler Knox early in their first matchup. And that was his only 7-minute match to that point until he wrestled Forrest. And he actually corrected me because I said that he got a tech fall. He's like, no, I got a major. He's like, oh, okay. He said, I'm going to get that one back. And he did. And kind of what he hit on and Tony hit on it too, is that for most of the year that we saw Seidel, he was getting bunches of points on top and brutal turns and, racking up back points. He didn't get any back points in 2 of his tech balls. I think they were all from his feet in his semifinal and his final. And he was upset about that after his semifinal, that he didn't get any back points. But he was, pleased with himself that he has been able to adjust enough on his feet to be able to, separate that much to get a tech fall just from takedowns. So I think it speaks a lot to where he's at. His mentality very much does not feel like you're talking to a 19-year-old freshman in college. He seems very seasoned, very focused. I mean, you guys have all talked to all different guys. You know the feeling of a younger guy versus a more experienced guy, the way they talk, the way they carry themselves. And he very much carries himself like he's a vet.
Yeah. Claunch, did you check out the finals? I know you were coaching your son for a good portion of the weekend, and you had dad duty. But did you catch any of those finals? What did you think of ACCs?
I did. So I full transparency, I'm watching Jaden Bullock wrestle right now on the TV that's behind my screen here. And I do, spoiler alert, know that he does win, right, Robbie? Is that correct?
This is correct.
Good. I knew you interviewed him. It'd be weird if you interviewed him after the finals match and he lost.
Watch the celebration. It's pretty funny.
So, but, he wrestled at Michigan for most of his career, and I know he's a Virginia guy. So coming back to Virginia Tech for this year, and probably would have been tough to have a spot at Michigan with the Mantanonas both bumping up weights. So I'm happy for him being able to go back home and get that done, and really excited. I mean, he's been at the NCAA tournament. He's looked decent, enough to get on the podium at times. He's got great offense. I'm just really happy for him and excited to see him, come home, win the ACC tournament championship, and be able to get it done. I do want to say too that the Seidel thing, it's like there's a Nate Bargatze joke where it's like the guy's like, I'm so, all the haters and the doubters, I proved him wrong. And he's like some 6'10" power forward who played at North Carolina and won championships at every level. And it's like, who didn't think you were going to make it? You only had this. Of course you're going to make it. You've never lost. So anyway, that's it, Seidel to me. But no, I'm pumped for Bullock. And I mean, this is a tough conference. I mean, as evidenced by the NCAA champion, being the 3 seed at 125, and ultimately not being in the final.
He's in third.
Yeah.
And
so
all his losses this year to ACC wrestlers. So he's got 4 losses, and they're to Ventresca and Provo.
So yeah, the All Coast Conference is no joke. It should be a 2-day tournament, is what they're saying.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
2 days, 2 champs, everybody wins.
Then
do 1 day on each coast. That's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it.
Robbie, did
split it
Ventresca
between
really
weekends
without getting a takedown?
Yes.
Full on Chris Perry.
Yeah, both matches, because he had bye first round. Both matches went to tiebreakers.
Yeah.
And he had riding time in both of them.
That dude is just so good. It's amazing he can't get a takedown.
No, that being said, I mean, he was very offensive, and he got in on several shots on Provo. But Provo is really good too. So not finishing there is something he's going to have to adjust to. And he said as much. He wasn't happy with his performance, and he knows that is not going to win him an NCAA championship. That he's going to have to turn on the offense as well. But he's shown, I mean, throughout the year that he can take anybody down. He's got great offense. And this is something that Roby's hit on. And sometimes I've talked to him, is that he's become reliant on his defense because he knows that he's not going to get taken down, and he feels comfortable with that he's going to be able to ride that out and get to those tiebreakers and not worry about sudden victory. So it's either going to be a blessing or a curse. It's going to be the way he wins the title, or it's going to bite him in the ass. And that's, so far it hasn't been him in the ass.
He's got to prove the haters wrong.
Is it the same haters that Seidel has?
Yeah, they one and the same.
Fair.
It's like one guy in Northwest Virginia.
Northwest Virginia. He's in Fairfax.
Yeah.
Kicking his fist.
Keeping my Lehigh Valley Nazareth love going, Sonny Sasso looked like a man possessed in the finals. 4-1 sudden victory in the semis over Stout. But outside of that, it was Tech fall in a major. He said he feels like he's wrestling the best he's ever wrestled in his life. And in your conversation with him, is it the haircut? You did say something a while back about the frosted tips, and he's gotten rid of them, and he looks phenomenal. So, and a lot of people alluded to it on Twitter responding to his interview. Is it the haircut or something different?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. And he hit on as much that was kind of an outward reflection of inward change is the way he was saying it, that he wanted to make sure that he was presenting himself in a new light, because he wants to be business first, and not worried about all the extra shit. Yeah, did look like Sideshow Bob. That's fair. But I mean, he had a hell of a tournament. And full disclosure, I voted for him for outstanding wrestler, with the win over Stout in the semifinals. Stout's an All-American, damn good. And then getting back the match over Posada, who beat him, majored him, I think. Yeah, majored him in the duel at Virginia Tech. And then for him to come back and major Posada, who has had a phenomenal year as a true freshman, and up to like 7 or 8 in the country, and he controlled every bit of that match and dominated his way to a title. So I think he's turned a page, and he's done it at the right time of the year. Pretty shaky at the beginning of the year, and he said as much that he looked like shit at the Southeast Open. He lost to Bruin Lawrence and Gavin Nelson. So he's in a better place right now if he's beating Posada and maxed out going into the NCAAs.
Yeah. Speaking of being in a better place, it's actually, 3 of the 4 guys on the show are complete fans of this guy, and it's Trumbull.
Get on the train,
other one
Robbie.
is Robbie. We all know that Robbie is late to the party, but he looked phenomenal in the finals. I mean, honestly, both him and Pitzer looked really good leading up to it. However, the Mullen-Pitzer match, not indicative of the score. Like, I thought Mullen had
Pitzer,
a couple of takedowns in there, and they just were like, nah.
yeah, that's one of those matches you can point to with the officiating being questionable. I mean, Mullen came out with what I thought was a takedown right away on the edge, and they called it no takedown. Looked to me like it was control, and I don't know what control means or what reaction time means or what a takedown is anymore. So maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like
But
a
normally
takedown
that's
to
a
me.
mat return.
Yep. I mean, that's the same exact position, right? And normally they call that, but there was a number of instances this weekend where nobody knew what the hell was going on or why things were being called the way they were. I told you guys beforehand, but now I've known Keith Gavin for a long time. He's a very quiet and reserved guy. When he is angry enough at the officials to be out of his chair screaming at them, I think that's a pretty strong statement of the state of affairs the officiating was in this weekend.
The weirdest part for me is that, like, this has been a season-long kind of issue, and it seems to only be getting worse. Like, whatever conversations are being had about, what the scoring is supposed to look like and what a takedown is versus what it isn't, I hate it, man. You give these guys 2 to 3 seconds of reaction time, we're never going to have, I think it was Tirapelli who said, like, oh, okay, if you want every match to be 1-to-1 rideouts, then by all means, keep reaction time the way it is, because that's what we're going to get. Everybody's way too good, like, at the highest levels to just not give up takedowns.
Especially if they know that that's going to happen. Like, if I know,
you get yourself into a spot.
He's in on my legs, I'm almost getting taken down, I'm just going to keep rolling because it's within my reaction time, right? Like, I'm just going to fucking throw a fit out here on the mat because it's within reaction time, and hopefully I catch a leg. Like, it's just bad, guys. Like, you can't. A takedown is a takedown. Like, I know that sounds really dumb, but we've all been watching wrestling for so long that we know what it is when we see it. And we're pretty knowledgeable about that. And I don't mean just us. I mean, there's a number of people outside of the 4 of us that know what a takedown truly is. But the ones that are officiating this, they're giving reaction time when your reaction is to sprawl, down block, get your head in the way, head, hands, defense. That's your reaction time. If I beat that, your reaction time isn't very good. My setup was better than your reaction time. So, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But as I said, Trumbull looked very good in the finals. I mean, 9-0 with a guy who, call it what it is, has beaten you in the past. And, Trumbull was injured, but, like, the last time they wrestled this year, it was way closer than this. Pitzer is, scoring more points, everything else. And this time he's just, shut out. So good match by Trumbull. He looks very much so ready for NCAAs this time around.
He might be.
I don't think he's in a good spot.
He might be the pick.
He's been my pick.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Has he, though?
He's the only finalist that I didn't get an interview with, and
That's because
I'll
Pat
leave it up
Pop's
to
a
him
hater. We know it.
No, it's a longer story, but I'm gonna have a chat with him either this week or when we get to Cleveland, and we'll do a longer interview, and I'll let him explain his reasoning. It's for him to do, not for me. So good stuff, good reason why, but that's for him to talk about, not for me to talk about.
I'm still gonna go along the lines of Pat Pop's a hater.
That's fair.
No,
That's
I love
fair.
Pat Pop. Love those guys. NC State's always been awesome.
Love him as much as Jamil loves Adidas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that guy. Jamil, he's, it's awesome having conversations with Jamil about wrestling, because like I've caught myself saying that I think it looks one way, and then I'm like talking to a fucking silver medalist, like shut up. Like, just stop it. You just go on about your way. But no, the NC State crew, always good, always very fun being around those guys. But ACC's honestly overall was great action. It was awesome to watch matches, unless you were watching 125 literally anywhere. So like
Whole tournament,
just rough. Like you would think the smaller guys, it would be like, just two cats just fighting, but no, this doesn't happen. We get more points at the heavier weights and way more action, but it is what it is. But ACC is still a good show, despite the bad stall calls and everything else. I mean, at this point, we're already going alphabetically, so let's move to the Big Ten. I don't know. Big Ten is what basically everybody's eyes were glued to, and it's what caught the most shit for seeding being messed up, and you name it. The Big Ten is the conference that gets the most allocation. So let's turn the page there, get into the Big Ten. Claunch, I'm coming to you. What were your thoughts on Big Ten? Any performances stick out to you? Any favorite performances, I guess I should say, from any guys in the Big Ten?
Well, if we're going to individual matches, I have to talk about the finale, the battle of good versus evil. And good won, good prevailed. It was like watching the Star Wars. But it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was a really great match. A lot of action, a lot of moving around, Ferrari doing Ferrari things, and all jokes aside, like he wrestled really tough, he rode really hard, and Gadali couldn't get out. His game plan for how to win matches was pretty much intact, and Gadali was going to have to go get a takedown and force some action, and near the edge of the mat, he was able to do that. And it was even off of Ferrari's shot too. He was able to just kind of punch that arm on the inside and eventually get his own attack and finish the takedown on the edge of the mat. I mean, it was awesome. And again, I already talked about Scotty being there and his family on the sideline. Like, just was so excited to see Tay be able to transfer up to Ann Arbor and continue his career and finish his Big Ten season in strong fashion. So very happy for him. But I gotta, before we move on to any additional matches, I really need to just point out, like, what is it, 7 champs for Penn State? Yeah. That is insane. Completely. And they almost had 8. Almost had 8 with Marcus Blaze.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, that's and remember when we thought some other team was going to beat them?
Yeah, right.
We're so stupid.
I think they're probably gonna end up with 7 number 1 seeds now too.
Yeah,
an option.
Ridiculous. Never seen anything like this. Like we've not had a team that was like this before. No. Like you have to just kind of tip your hat to it. Like, it is all-time dominance. Even with like the guy, like even with David Taylor in the lineup, right? Like even with guys like that lineup didn't have this.
You might have seen something like that with, other conferences where it was like I can't point to, what was it, 2002 Oklahoma or 2006 Oklahoma State was one of those like all-time great teams, and like the Big 12 is not exactly the Big 10, but the Big 12 was really, really, really good. Maybe they had something close to this. I'm not like enough of a historian to point at that year and say that they did, but I mean, this
Jason,
is the
Pirate, need you here.
Yeah, right. But this is like the toughest conference, bar none, has just generally been accepted as that, and they had 70% of the champs.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Just insane. But yeah, they're probably going to end up with. I mean, if Blaze beats Davino, they end up with 8 number 1 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Wild, just wild.
And they had 2 141-pounders go down this year.
Yeah. I kind of feel like Desmond does better than Davis at 41. I feel like their better lineup would have been with Desmond at 41, who, from what they told me, yeah, I mean, from what they told me, was not giving up a lot of weight to wrestle at 41. He as a 25-pounder, he probably weighs 145 pounds, like normally. So, it's not that far outside the realm. I think they're probably better off with him at 41. Not to say that he beats Mendez or Brock Hardy, but I think they're better off with as Desmond in the lineup for sure than
I didn't slap anybody at least.
So Davis has a better right hook.
This is true. He seems to be kind of a one-hitter quitter kind of a guy, though. I don't know. He's got a lot of power in that first one. Doesn't really follow. Doesn't really keep his, doesn't really follow the jab. So
he's no big unit, that's for sure.
No,
definitely no big unit. I believe if we go back far enough, and I said this in a group, I actually did go back to our Call Your Shot show. I did say that Tegadali would be AJ Ferrari. However, I did say it would happen at NCAAs to make the finals. So if he does it again, then I'll consider myself to be a little clairvoyant, considering that'd be 2 years in a row that I called in NCAA finalists. That wasn't somebody in a Penn State singlet, mind you. That's low-hanging fruit to say that Messenbrink is going to make the finals.
Yeah, I said Jesse Mendez was probably going to win it. So,
yeah, I mean, I went with Lucas Bird last year, so I think that's the branch I was on. Yeah, I did it. Bird branch. Fuck you. That was funny. The other matches that kind of, I guess, had questionable calls. What did you guys make of the Haynes versus Minto match? I honestly thought that Minto was very close to a takedown in that match. But the figure 4 was very weird. I understand why they called it, but I got to give Adam Terapelli credit for this. Like, we're going to give reaction time everywhere but there. Like, that's where we don't go with reaction time. Like, if you have a chance, go look at what Adam Terapelli's kind of reaction was to it and what he said about that situation, because you can tell it's not on purpose. He removes it like immediately.
Yeah. And it's a shitty situation. And I think it's kind of dangerous ground to say we can start having reaction time on illegal holds, just because, what if we're going to give reaction time on a full Nelson now? Like, that doesn't seem like the best thing. So I think it's one of those areas that just, you kind of got to chalk it up to being a shitty circumstance where it's an illegal hold and you hit it. It is what it is. Sucks, but you move on. But I mean, it impacted the match, which is the hard part. So
yeah, don't they have reaction time for locking hands though too? Like, if you mat return a guy and your hands are locked for a second, they give you a second to release. I feel like that's like a similar situation, right? Where it's the figure 4, it's, they touch, you got to call it, but why not for locked hands?
Is the difference that it's a technical violation versus an illegal hold? I don't know. Like, breaking down technicalities of like where it falls in the rule book. But
well, and And ultimately, it's about the official at that moment, right? Because how many times have we seen them review locked hands calls and be like, "Oh, they did touch pinkies, so here's the point."
Yeah.
So it depends on the day and the official, and how important they feel they are at that moment.
Yeah.
How
So-
much they can insert themselves at that point.
Just like takedowns.
Plus, you don't want to be caught touching pinkies. That's just not a good look.
Or big units for that matter.
Exactly.
That's very true as well. I think, and I know I said that on a previous show that Jesse Mendez would be my vote for Hodge, but it's really tough to look past what Messenbrink is doing to just everyone.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
Yeah, it's just everyone. So might be the guy, but I don't know. The match that the other weight class outside of 133 that I think a lot of people are looking forward to is 184. Specifically Big Ten 184. You have Rocco Welsh who beats Angelo Ferrari again.
And the most boring fucking match of all time.
So bad.
And-
There were more shots taken this time though.
What,
And
1.5?
still more. I think there were actually more than that. But the funnier part about it is that Ferrari, it's now a cognitive thing that he drops to a knee for himself, to the point where he's doing it, but he's right back up to his feet. Like it is. I think that the fans, or I mean, maybe not the fans. Maybe I shouldn't give fans that much credit, but like it's now in his head. Yeah, it's now in his head, and you can see it where he drops to a knee. He's there for a hot second, and he's right back up on his feet. It's not a place where he's just hanging out like we've seen him do in the past. He's still not as offensive as we would like him to be, but he's not just being this defensive wrestler dropping down to a knee and backing away or anything else. But the singlet pull, it did impede in the match. It was impactful in the match. I didn't see the first one, and we talked about this before coming on. Like I did see the pull of the strap during that overtime. I thought it was inadvertent the first time, and then the second time I was like, oh no, it's kind of the exact same thing. So I don't think that was just an accident. It wasn't just him trying to hold on top. He pulled the same part of the singlet, right? But like I didn't see the other one where he's in the air and he's like fistful of singlet like on Ferrari's hip. That one, that's a big one too. But like they all are essentially. But when seeing it in real time, you're like, yeah, you can't have that.
That's the important part, and like something we've noticed that kind of online this weekend with people bitching about calls and bitching about situations, understandably in a vast majority of the cases that people are complaining about. But when you're showing still pictures of singlet being pulled to the side, that happens all the time. Like it just in movement and in getting position and grappling around, like it happens. So like you're not capturing anything, showing us a still image of that. Like if you show that the grab while he's in midair, that holds a lot more weight than me seeing that it got shifted by 2 inches. Well, that can happen, especially with guys wearing baggier singlets again for some stupid ass reason. So, man, I don't know. It sucks. I don't know. It's so frustrating to watch those guys because they both can score. They both can have good offense, but we know we're going to 1-to-1 rideouts every time. Like I don't know. It's kind of the same situation we talked about with 25. Like I just want to see, I want them to want to see more action. I want to see things actually happening and not just 9 minutes of standing around.
Yeah, the way Rocco Welsh is winning matches, I'm getting vibes of the Max Dean run that he went on. Like NCAAs, he had a bunch of these weird calls.
Like when he got back points that IO didn't get that he should have.
That's exactly what I'm. Yeah, he had a set of backs that Louis Dupre from Binghamton, I think, had against him, and they got reversed, or they got the call got reversed or whatever. But It's just weird how all these calls are just always going Welch's way, and like how long is that going to last? And you can't keep this close that many times, especially with NCAAs rolling around. Like something's got to happen, right? You got to score. You
can't bank on that.
Yeah, it's just very strange how I see a correlation with Dean in that regard.
The other thing is the takedown in the finals against McAnally. I think it was a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was time left on the clock, and it looked like it too. Like takedown all the way for me. I was like, "That's 3."
Oh yeah,
and nope, not gonna happen. So I was very surprised. Maybe not very surprised, but it was a takedown.
Are we surprised anytime that a takedown is not called at this point?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But I thought it was a takedown. I did.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations too where we go back to talking about reaction time, and takedowns at the buzzer, you can't allow for reaction time, right? There's no time for that. So like it's either a takedown or it's not. So if it's in takedown criteria when the buzzer goes, I feel like that should be a takedown. So I don't know. It's another one of those frustrating things. Like we just need some sort of consistent interpretation of how this is going to work. And I was really hopeful, with a week off going into conferences that they would, maybe figure some shit out. And then we come into this weekend and it's worse. I feel like maybe it's just because the spotlight was on it more, but I feel like it was worse this weekend than it was a lot of the season. And you're hearing a lot more people complain about it than just, jackasses like us. So at least it's not just me yelling into the void anymore. Now everybody's yelling into the void.
Claunch, takedown or no takedown for McAnally?
Well, I believe it was a takedown, and my FanDuel app sadly believed it wasn't a takedown because that is I lost that one.
Damn it, FanDuel.
Literally, I had Marcus Blaze to win, PJ Duke to win, McAnally to win, Gadali to win, and Lilidal to win. Those were the 5 bets I'd placed on the Big Tens, and damn, I was so close to getting 5 for 5. But no, I mean he was behind him. He got the hand was down. That's a takedown most of the time. Even this year, but not in State College in the Big Ten finals, evidently. So but I will say. And regardless of what I think about the takedown, the reality is it was called what it was. Rocco Welch is a motherfucker to wrestle, dude. Like that guy is just clubbing and snapping and pressure, and like he's, for as much as I'm joking around or whatever, like that dude is an absolute monster. And he wrestles some of those close matches, but I mean, we talked earlier about some close matches and how fun or not fun they are to watch. His are still kind of fun to watch because I'm just like, can you imagine what that must feel like? It's just cinder block hands, just like windmills, just coming down and clubbing you in the back of the head for 7 minutes straight. No, thank you. So, but no, McAnally.
His hips are so heavy too. You get on his leg, like good luck scoring, just because he's sprawling so hard. He's pressuring into his hips, or his hips must be super heavy too.
Oh, dude, you're so tired of getting punched in the back of the head that you just take a shot, and then all of a sudden you get hit with a truck.
Yeah,
you get hit with the big unit. Rocco Welch.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, Rocco Welch looks like the villain in like every movie.
Yeah,
like he walks out on the mat, and you're just like, yes, that guy is going to blow up some grandmother's house. Yeah, that is what he's about to do.
He looks like his name should be Rocco Welch, like
he really does. Yes.
Him and Ty Whalen look like villains. Like Ty Whalen looks like what is Rocky 4? Why can't I think of that guy's name?
Drago.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, so far we've got Drago, we've got PJ Duke Nukem, and Rocco Welch is definitely Bane. I'm very mad that people did not catch on to the PJ Duke Nukem when you said that, but
that was fantastic. Just amazing.
We might have to repost that. Might have to repost that. AI has come a long way since we created that PJ Duke Nukem mashup. So we might have to redo that one. But yeah, they've got Bane, PJ Duke Nukem, and now we've got Drago as Ty Whalen.
And a serial killer. Don't forget about the serial killer.
And we've got a serial killer in there. We do have Messenbrink, who is a serial killer in there. Any others? I think you know what.
God,
since you guys are listening and watching this, put it into the comments. Who else is in there that is a super villain and looks like a villain, like to the T, looks like a villain. But yeah, Rocco Welsh does definitely look like.
Don't do the thing where you're like, oh, Braden Davis, he hits people, and it's like, yeah, but he looks like he's 7. All right, like that's not. We're talking looks alone. All right, so
yeah. What else stuck out at Big Tens? Anything else?
Ayala looked good.
Yeah, he did. He wrestled really well this weekend.
And him and Bailey both got third place after up and down years. Fans were kind of down on them. I think we were a little down on them, but you kind of figured Ayala would put it together. But this year it looked like he was lost for a while and started wrestling well at the end of the year. So
certainly did.
Good to have some of those Iowa guys back at it again. And I think Keeter got 4th. Yeah, Keeter got 4th, so he came out as a 10 seed or something like that.
Yeah, he out wrestled his seed. Good for him.
Yeah.
He could have predicted.
Yeah, Lucas Bird taking his first 2 losses of the season, losing to Blake Borman. He avenged that loss for 5th and 6th, which honestly I'm going to, Big Short King fans, but like he continued to wrestle through the tournament. And there are other guys, obviously, I understand there are other guys that continue to wrestle through the tournament and everything else. But like in past years, we've seen guys that are like, I've got the AQ, I'm out, right? Like I'm done.
Especially 5th and 6th year guys too.
Yeah. Like they're just like, whatever I do in 2 weeks is what matters. It's like, cool. This is my conference trophy. I'm top 8. I'm done. So like, across the board, the amount of guys that continue to wrestle, even though they were not going to be, the champ in their weight class. Angelo Ferrari, obviously, and I think we can give him a pass. He was out for most of the season, at least most of the second half of the season. It said that he had some sort of injury that he was nursing. So maybe that's what it is. But
no, I don't understand.
He did come in as the 8 seed, and he did leave as the 8 seed.
Yeah, I don't understand the rationale necessarily of the timing of his time to medical forfeit. Like, was he trying to just get 2 more matches? Was that the goal, or to like 2 more wins?
I think he needed to place top 8 because he didn't earn allocation. Yeah, I don't think he would have got a wild.
That's right.
Because he didn't have.
Oh yeah, because he wouldn't have enough matches. Okay,
yeah,
that
so
makes more sense.
He had to auto bid, was my assumption.
That makes sense.
Joey Blaze took his first loss.
He did.
Like to Holmes' point, wrestled back all the way for 3rd.
And his first takedown he gave up.
Yeah.
Funny how those go together.
Was that a takedown? No, he didn't give up a takedown to Davino.
No, he gave no. Joey Blaze.
Joey Blaze. Sorry,
the
big one.
Blaze. Yeah, Joey Blaze. Both Blazes came in and left with a loss. Yeah, Big Tens was awesome.
There's just so much going on at Big Tens. Like
there's a lot.
It's almost like as overwhelming as NCAA. Like there's so many good matches at any given time that it's hard to focus. And that's testament to the depth of the conference. So I guess that's a good problem to have.
I thought Michigan looked pretty good too. I just feel like Sotelo wrestled well. McNeil got 3rd, I think. Catchbone wrestled well. Both Mantenos look good, and Tay winning at heavyweight. I thought they put together a pretty good team. They only qualified 6, but I think they were like a half point behind Iowa for 5th place or something, right? Yeah, Michigan half point behind Iowa. They got 5th, so pretty good tournament overall. I thought for them.
Yeah,
I think Lachlan could have won if his cornrows weren't so tight.
Hate that.
He did start off pretty strong in that match, but yeah, just just wasn't able to finish it out. But no, I mean, they did wrestle well. I'm really pumped for Diego. Like I said, both the Mantanonas put it together. I mean, their studs showed up. You know, their young guys weren't able to put it together, and that's all right. You know, that's all right. That's how it works sometimes. And of those 6, let me think. Diego's graduating, Tay's graduating. I think everyone else comes back. Oh yeah, Lachlan.
Lachlan's
so
out.
half of them are gone, but they'll be fine. They'll figure it out.
Rock Mantanona had a real close one with Rocco Welsh going sudden victory, losing 8-5. But man, they did wrestle very well. And you know, we've said it before, like Lachlan at the beginning of the year looked kind of lost. And, you know, I think it was you, Robbie, obviously being the ACC guy that you are and watching Lachlan wrestle as much as you have, like he put it together when he needed to. A little bit of growing pains being in the new lineup and everything else, but you know, end of the season, and this is, you know, his first Big Ten tournament as well, wrestling in the Michigan lineup, and looked like the old Lachlan a little bit more than he did.
He looked really good this weekend. Yeah, he seemed to be back to kind of his old self, so that's good going into the next week.
Yeah. Talk a little bit of Big 12s. I mean, obviously, a lot of talk around 133 with Jax Forrest. Nothing but bonus point wins, 3 tech falls, and a 15-2 major in the finals over Larkin. And then he ends up OW. Half a high school season, half a college season, ends up winning a conference title instead of a state title, and ends up OW. Pretty freaking impressive, to be completely honest, even though he should be in college. He's 19, but still.
It was funny trying to explain to my wife that whole situation. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna want to watch this kid. He's supposed to be in high school still." And she's like, "How does that work?" Well, he was a little old, but also he just was like, "I'm done with this, and I'm coming here now."
Yeah.
And here he is. So,
and then, you know, the other half of the very young Bash brothers and Sergio Vega, his match, I mean, this is probably the tightest match that he's had, with 2-1 tiebreaker win against Echemendia. And I don't think has he given up a takedown yet this year? I don't think he has either. I think Vega came in without giving up a takedown. I know that his match with Titus was 16-3. I'm guessing that was 3 escapes and not a takedown in there, just based on the fact that he hasn't given up a takedown yet this year. But Oklahoma State ends up the winner of the team title. Casey Swiderski putting it together after having a shaky start to the year. A lot of really good matches in the finals. Good to see Lockett scoring some points, even though he ends up with a loss in the finals, 2-1 tiebreaker loss to Ruiz from ASU. So shout out to ASU.
Arizona State wrestled really well in the finals.
They placed 3rd overall as a team.
Yeah.
Like they wrestled their ass off.
There were 3 finalists, Larkin, and Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 57 was good too.
How many guys did they?
Larkin wrestles awesome.
What's that? Yeah,
57 was fun. Just watching both Larkins wrestle. Maybe not so much Kyler in the finals or Kyle in the finals, but Caleb at 57 is always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he scrambles out of those takedowns and gets takedowns of his own when he's kind of dead in the right. It's got to be hard to wrestle him. The way he moves and his flexibility and just his creativeness, it's awesome to watch.
I was trying to think of a good analogy for him, and I think I figured it out, because you watch what he does and you're like, that's really cool. I want to do that. But then there's this thing in the back of your head that's like, you will never, ever do that. It's like watching Vince Carter. It's like, oh, he just jumped over that guy and dunked it. That looks sweet. I'm never going to be able to do that in my life. You give me a trampoline, and I will still not be able to do that. That's Caleb Larkin to me. It's like I love it. It's amazing. I would rip my ball sack if I tried to do the splits like that in half.
And imagine trying to stay as calm and collected as he is too.
Oh, he doesn't.
Your face would be all red.
I'd be crying. I don't know how he does it, man. It's just because that match with Robidoux was nonstop action.
That was an awesome match.
That was fun.
That was really fun to watch.
And the one with Waters before that too, man. Like just unreal. I love it.
Austin, coming to you with EIWA, and I know what half the weekend you were celebrating your daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
But EIWA had some really good matches. Obviously, the one that everyone is talking about is Jude Swisher beating Meyer Shapiro.
That was Ivy.
And
We can talk about that if you want.
Ivy, sorry. See, I did it again. I will always think that Cornell and Penn are still in the EIWA.
No.
Yeah, let's go EIWA. What were some of the highlights there? Some of the best, best turnout or any matches that you saw at EIWA that really kind of stuck out?
Well, I will say props to us because there were multiple people that stopped me, didn't know who they were, and said, "Hey, we love your guys' podcast. You guys are doing really good. Thanks for highlighting the EIWA." And so props to you guys for that. And that was coaches, that was random fans, and that was even a referee that was working. Kind of stopped and said he liked our show. He listens every week, and he said he agrees with us on the takedowns. There's no consistency. He'd like to see more consistency. So when refs were saying that, take that for what it's worth. But
did he make any bad calls over the weekend that we can scrutinize?
I have to go back and watch the tape. It was after the first night, so I didn't get to see him much the second day. But
let's make him hate us.
Yeah, we should. We're big haters here in this podcast, so that's why.
Exactly what we do.
But yeah, I mean, Morgan State balled out, man. They have 2 NCAA qualifiers, and they just brought the program back less than 3 years ago. So Coach Kenny Monday doing a great job there. Eugene Harney was Morgan State's first EIWA champ, one of Scotty Senti's. He had 3 conference champs in 3 different conferences. I saw him tweet that out, so that's pretty cool. Franklin and Marshall had 7 placers. That's a school record. American, who hosted the event, did a great job. Thought it was really, really cool to be there. They had 8 placers as well, which is also a school record. They had 2 champs in Max Leet at 33 and Caleb Campos, who knocked off Conway at 184. Those were the first conference champs since 2012. So a lot of history for the smaller schools that don't get a lot of love. Really, really cool weekend. Lehigh won their 40th EIWA title, and there has been this is the 122nd conference championship, so they've won about a third of them, if my math.
Do they still have that big ass trophy too?
Yep, going back to
that
Bethlehem.
Thing is huge.
Yeah,
did you have to cut it in half after the split?
No, that was division last year. That wasn't for the tournament. And then there were 2 schools with 10 place finishers, Drexel and Navy. So Lehigh won the team score. Navy was about 30 points behind them. Bucknell was third, who we kind of talk about Bucknell all year. Just super solid, super tough team. Good recruiting class coming in too, talking to those coaches there. Army West Point 4th, Drexel 5th, American 6th, Binghamton 7th, Morgan State 8th. So like I said, good weekend there. I'll just run through the finals quick. Finals, Sheldon Seymour majored Binney of Navy. Binney looked really, really good as a freshman. Majored Pleasant from Drexel in the semis. Pleasant is going to be looking for a wild card. Has a few ranked wins on the year, kind of like his odds there. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when this releases. 33 was fun. Max Lee over Ethan Bergen in the finals. Came down to overtime. Max Lee hit a huge throw. I'm sure you guys saw the clip of that. Arena erupted there for Max. It was really cool to see him win that one, especially kind of being in a battle position all year. Won the wrestle off like the week before conferences. So I wasn't even sure he was going to be the guy until recently, which is really cool. 41, 3 allocations. Stanich won. pretty much majored everybody. Caden Ricciardi of Navy was second. Dylan Chappell of Bucknell was third. Basil of Army West Point was fourth, but I think he gets a wild card. He's like 16th, 18th in the nation, so I think he's good. Saw Chappell's dad leaving. He was going to ACCs in the next day, and he's like, "Yeah, my one son made it. Got to make sure my other son makes it." So that was just cool to have two different sons wrestling.
Spoiler, he did not.
Oh, he didn't qualify. I thought they brought 5. He got 5th. No.
Oh no, he did. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
He did. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He beat Roller in the 5th and 6th place match. Default.
Yeah, so
That's right.
a lot of sweating for parents for cases like that, I'm sure. 49, Eugene Harney is the only allocation there. Morgan State's first win, beat Riley Bauer, one of the twins that was deciding at Bucknell. Beat him 6-5 in the finals. 57, Rosinski of Lehigh had a medical forfeit over Giannis Charles. Charles was the 12 seed, which is dead last in the EIWA. He upset the 5 seed first round and then the 4 seed, and then knocked off Jonathan Lay of Navy. With that DQ throw out of bounds. I'm sure you guys saw that one, which was pretty crazy, but he won the semis Friday night. He technically became Morgan State's first NCAA qualifier. So really cool there. 64 had 4 allocations. Brignola of Lehigh had a close one with Mulvaney of Bucknell, 4-2 in the finals. Gunnar Filipowicz of Army West Point was third. How about this? Cody Walsh of Drexel, younger brother to Taylor and Chad.
Yeah.
Qualified automatically for Drexel. His brother Chad was actually in his corner. He's on Drexel staff, so just a cool moment. Taylor Walsh was there as well, ran down, kind of a cool family thing behind the scenes there. Just missed it. Tried to get a nice little video, but I missed that one. 74 was
Blacker.
74 was pretty crazy. Tackett's of Bucknell beat Bear of Binghamton. Bear from Binghamton beat Danny Wask in the semis in rideouts.
Wow.
So Wask, All-American, had to win 2 matches in the wrestlebacks to claim third, just to automatically qualify. Josiah Queen was 5th, kind of on the outside looking in for a wild card. We'll see if he gets one there. 84 had 3 allocations. Campos of American upset Conway of F&M in the finals. I think that was one of the bigger upsets of the tournament for sure.
Huge.
Rylan Rogers from Lehigh got 3rd. And then again, 12 seed Cooper Haas of Army West Point was 4th. So a lot of guys that were double digits outperforming their seeds. Really fun to watch. 97, 2 allocations. Beck Toll from Bucknell beat Squires of Binghamton. Squires is a cool story. Spent 4 years at Princeton. Gets a 5th year. Goes to grad school at Binghamton. Knocked off Stephen Little. What was that, 2 weeks ago at this point? Brought in allocation for the conference. Ended up being 2nd place. So first trip to NCAAs. Really cool story for him. And last but not least, the big boys, the heavyweight, Nathan Taylor of Lehigh beat Nate Schoen of Drexel in the finals. Schoen beat Colbert of Army West Point in the semis with a big throw, pin in the first period. Lenozga of Navy beat Colbert for 3rd and 4th. So that's it for heavyweight. Coach of the year, Santoro from Lehigh. Most career EIWA points was Nathan Taylor. Most pin, least amount of time, Nathan Taylor. And then OW was voted on by Caleb Campos of American with that big upset. So, like I said, a great environment overall. Got to do some calls for the semis, the 3rd and 4th place matches. American's a cool little school there, tucked away in DC. Never been there, but got to see their new facility. Really, really cool. 3 mats, own locker rooms, own strength conditioning, athletic training facility, whole 9 yards. Really, really cool setup they have there. It's they had like the dean there. They had all the AD people, like high level people there showing the support. So, really cool atmosphere, really cool environment, and a lot of support from American administration as well.
That's why you want the administration to be there to fucking support.
Yeah, they were
Cal Baptist.
They weren't yelling at other teams for supporting them. They were very supportive of their own team.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, good recap. Saw a lot of really good wrestling. I went back and watched some of these matches and checked some of them out. And I mean, Nate Taylor is a very large human being. So seeing how,
yes, he is.
he's able to score the way that he does is very impressive.
Yeah, and the one complaint I will have that I think a lot of the coaches and even some of the fans or wrestlers had, I'm not sure if you saw the shape of the mats, they were octagons.
Yeah.
So when you get to the corners, there's 4 feet of action, until you hit the out of bounds, which a lot of coaches were harping in the beginning, like this is going to be an issue. And there were definitely some issues because it shrunk the mat. You couldn't wrestle much in the edge. And that big issue at 57 with the DQ where it was on the other side of me. I couldn't see how far off they were the mat, but Lay hit a big throw and Charles landed on the hardwood out of bounds, and they went back, reviewed it, gave it disqualification. So
from the video, it looks like they're pretty far out, honestly.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. Like I said, I was calling them at the table, complete opposite side. I'm not sure what happened. I don't think a bigger mat would have done anything, but there are a lot of instances I saw where, usually there's mats that are square. There's little in the corners, there's more room, but here it was the same distance all the way around because of the octagon shape and not enough room for edge wrestling, which is pretty standard. But this one just seemed there was more of that this weekend.
Octagons are great for cages, not so much for mats.
Yeah, like I said, it looks cool. It looks awesome, but I think they need to put, those triangle pieces of mat in there or something to fill in those hardwood floors. But that's the only downfall I saw. It was a great weekend overall.
Yeah. Why don't we head right into the Ivy? Considering they're still basically together. And I talked about it before the Jude Swisher Meyer Shapiro match. Went back and watched that one. Was very surprised that Shapiro didn't score any takedowns in that one. He got the reversal, but he was out scrambled by Jude, and it was a complete match. I mean, obviously there's no back points or anything else, but like from an offensive or in defensive attack and defending standpoint by Swisher, he out scrambled. He scored the first takedown, kept moving, was on the attack, or at least on the re-attack a lot of the time from Shapiro. That match was obviously the highlight, the highlight of the Ivy League tournament. Austin, what'd you make of that one once you went back and watched it?
Yeah, I saw the result and was thinking, maybe was there a big move here or, that got Swisher to 8 points, but no, he took him down twice. Shapiro didn't take him down at all, which, when Shapiro doesn't take you down, has that ever happened? I mean, not recently in my memory, right? He's always scoring a ton of points. And like you alluded to, Holmes, it was Swisher's kind of defense and counterattacks that scored him those points there. So, he weathered the storm really well, actually got a takedown of his own, and then kind of started chipping away and was very methodical with his approach. And yeah, Swisher looked good. I think he was 0-3 lifetime against Shapiro. Definitely reverse that this weekend, but we'll see next weekend what happens there. If Shapiro gets revenge on him, if they meet again, or one ends up on the podium, the other one doesn't. It'll be interesting to see because Swisher was rounded 12 last year. Meyer was All-American, so 2 guys from the Ivies All-American at one weight would be really good.
And I believe last year when they wrestled in the Ivy League finals, what was it? Shapiro by like tech or major last year?
If it wasn't major, it was close. It was like 12 or 13 point win. And that was a week removed from the hospital, being on a ventilator and all, like barely weighing 152 or something like that, he said. So, I think he's full strength this year. And Swisher beat him, so can't take anything away from Jude. He wrestled well. I think he earned OW for that win as well. So
yeah, I think he did. Yeah, that was obviously the bigger highlight. The biggest highlight of Ivy was Shapiro going down, but the other match, I know we're harping on inconsistency, but the ref inconsistencies really stick out. And there was the Motika and McGowan match. McGowan kind of not backs to the edge, but like he backed up. He was be considered in the danger zone if it was freestyle. Motika throws an underhook and McGowan tries to shoot through it and couldn't, and got driven out of bounds, and he got hit for stalling. And it was so weird. Dubuque should have been pissed off. It was very confusing. Like, one guy has an underhook, the other guy tries to shoot through it, doesn't get through the underhook and gets just basically shoved out of bounds, and just like crumbled basically because Matika sprawled as he came back with the underhook. And it was also like a confusing stall call. Like he didn't want to call it, but he did because he felt like he needed to. And it was just very weird.
Because McGowan was winning, probably. Like I feel like some of those
he was up 7-2 at that point.
Yeah, I think some of those stall calls come just because this guy's winning and I have to hit him because they went out of bounds. It's like, well, you don't have to hit him if he's winning. If that's in a vacuum and that happens 20 seconds into the first period, you probably won't call stalling in that situation.
Yeah. I have to call something. Stalling.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. It's just because the guy's winning, he gets banged. It's like, why? And just because he's winning, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, not even the same situation, but Minto had an underhook on Haynes and Haynes got a back straight out of bounds and just action call. And again, the coach that is not getting the call or getting hit with the call, confusion. Like Manning was like, what the hell? Like everybody was very confused by that too. So like, just so, again, it goes back to the inconsistency. I think we're going full circle on all these things, no matter what conference we're talking about. There's some sort of inconsistency across the country, whether it be reaction time or takedowns or stall warnings or just head scratching calls, like all over the place. So hopeful we do get some consistency, honestly. And, because right now we don't have it. So let's use this week. Let's have a referees clinic between now and getting to the NCAA tournament. I know that there's a good amount of referees that could potentially be doing Division II, Division III this weekend, but like use those times to just like get better a little bit. Get some. Yeah. I mean, obviously we've been asking for this all year, but like the big show is coming up. We need to make sure we have consistency across the board and that our best guys are out making calls, making the right calls throughout any of these matches.
Where they have been really consistent?
Being inconsistent?
No, well, that too, but
that too.
Headgear calls. Like DK Davis losing a team point for
celebrating and putting his... He fucking placed it on the ground.
Yeah. Insane.
I watched it and I didn't think, it never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind that there could be anything wrong that just happened.
You don't know the rules, Claunch. Those are the rules, buddy.
One of the Pittsburgh guys got dinged a point for throwing his broken headgear to the corner to get a new one.
Dude, I've thought about that. I was like, someone's gonna get hit at some point this year for doing that. And there was a match. I mean, shit, we made fun of it here where Braxton Amos was wrestling somebody and the headgear broke and he pulled it off the guy's head and threw it to the side. And it was like, oh, throwing a headgear, that's the point. It's like, nope, it has to be your headgear and it has to stay in your hands or on your head. Like, can you? It's just insane. It's just insane. If you do the thing where you snap it and then you like turn it and it falls off your head, does that count? You probably should give away 2 team points at that point.
Yeah.
You should have 2 hands on your headgear at all points.
Just bad. Austin, any other highlights from the Ivy League tournament that you had seen?
McGowan over Matika, Ferrara over McGallion in the finals. Cornella beat Composto for the 3rd time this year. Seems to have his number. Cornella looks really good. I think he could have another takedown or 2 there, but Composto scrambled out of it. Joy over Wazlewski, 2-0, beat him for the 2nd time this year. I think Joy we'll go into next week, but Joy might be my pick to win at 149. Just, he's so good on top, so good at scrambles, tough to score on. We talked about Swisher. Cesar Alvin, 165, beat Ty Whalen in sudden victory 8-1. It's a big move there in overtime. Ruiz won at 74. Joe Curtis over Sergio at 84. Andrew Reel of Brown over Waymeyer in overtime at 97 and 285. Mueller beat Semenenko of Brown at heavyweight. And I told you guys before we started, I thought it was a cool fact that I think it was Mike Cousins brought it up on the broadcast. last year was the first year since 2000. Was it 2006 where Cornell did not have
2007.
Sorry, yeah, first year since 2007, Cornell did not have an NCAA finalist last season. So they went, I think, 17 or 18 years with having an NCAA finalist, which is a hell of a streak. You know, I think
There's
only
a
Iowa,
consistency for you.
I think Iowa only has a longer one, right? But that's just something that I didn't realize how dominant they were for that long. So it's hopefully they get one back this year.
Iowa has a big unit. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're talking about streaks. I'm sorry. I got lost.
Some of us had big streaks.
Rocco wrestles for Penn State.
Yeah. Jeez, we're off the rails. Let's talk SoCon. We've got SoCon. We got the MAC.
We got to go MAC. That's alphabet. We got to go with the alphabet.
Fine, we'll go with the MAC.
Yeah.
You said TK Davis, so that's why I was like, ooh, SoCon. Yeah, let's go with some action.
I guess Pac-12 will be next, then SoCon.
Welcome to Middle America, where we have teams from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and New York. I guess I want to shout out first and foremost Edinburgh. Edinburgh had several finalists. I think they qualified 3 people. They ended up placing 4th. I mean, basically since Tim Flynn left there, it looked bad for a minute.
Yeah.
It looked bad. It looked dangerous. It was a program I was worried about, and basically AJ Shop went back there, and now they're good again. So they had some really, really strong wrestlers, a couple finalists. They didn't have any champs. But
is anybody doing his weird riding style yet? Has he taught that to anyone?
Not exactly, but I do love following him on Instagram. I'm trying to line up an interview, but I'm trying not to be a creep and you know, send him too many DMs and be weird about it.
Don't mention big units in the DMs.
I won't. I won't. I hope he listens to this and definitely decides not to talk to me. But no, I wanted to shout out Ohio as well. Ohio had 3 of the 10 champs and ended up getting 4 qualifiers out of the tournament. Ryder was the only other team to get 4 qualifiers out of the tournament. And Ryder ended up winning the whole thing. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. It had Markel Baker, Northern Illinois, won at 133 over Will Betancourt. Tyler Klinsky of Ryder won at 125. Wyatt Henson ended up beating Eli Griffin in the 141 finals. So shout out to Wyatt Henson. He's one of those dudes who I feel like every year wrestles 57 matches and then like doesn't have a great NCAAs. But that's
3 or 4 time MAC champ, right?
I don't even know, honestly. I think it's got to be at least 3.
I think it's 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Griffin have his knee wrapped at all? Because when he wrestled Penn, he banged up his knee pretty bad.
I feel like he did. Yeah. He had it wrapped. But yeah, so that was a good one. 149, Lucas Capusta of Lock Haven got the win over Caleb Tyus, who at that point was ranked 2nd in the country. Derek Rake of Ohio, 157, beat Garrett McChesney in tiebreakers. McChesney of Edinburgh, I believe, was the 5th seed and knocked off the 1 seed Mason Schrader in 2nd round of the tournament, something like that. So very impressive tournament run for him. Chris Ernest of Kent State beat Brett Smith. There was some controversy in this one, a couple almost takedowns from Brett Smith that ended up not being called. But regardless, at the end of the day, Chris Ernest gets to be the MAC champion, the MAC daddy, as Scotty Sentes was calling him. And that is another one of the former Campbell Camels who got it done. Logan Messer of George Mason over Enrique Mungaya. Mungaya of Ryder was the defending MAC champ, and Logan Messer got it done. Also impressive at 174 is that Garrett Thompson was an All-American last year and was not placed 3rd. So there you go.
You know what also was impressive at 174?
What's that?
Logan Messer's mustache. That was fantastic.
Oh, that mustache was great. There was a lot of good MAC mustaches. Sal Perrine coming up next had a really good mustache as well.
That's also true.
Yeah, Messer's in particular. Messer's was a little bit dirtier, like a little bit longer and shaggier and a little like, what's this guy's deal sort of thing. Where Perrine looked more like
well, he's come from the Joel Greenlee school of mustaches, so
he is, sense. Yeah.
That's a healthy mustache.
He looked like a jacked Thomas Magnum. Like, but yeah, he gets the win over Malachi Duval of George Mason, Zane Lehman of Ohio. So they went back to back to back. They didn't go back to back to back, but they did get Perrine and Lehman at 197. And Devin Dawson of Northern Illinois gets it done for the heavyweights. But yeah, very cool. Great tournament. Lots of fun to watch. Yeah. SoCon, though, that was fucking great. Literally, yeah. So here's what was awesome about the SoCon tournament. It goes down, it's like back and forth, right? It's like Bellarmine, Chattanooga, and App State, going into the finals were like the top 3 teams. And Chattanooga was up for a while. And, they had a couple champs. Cooper Flynn gets it done for them. What else did they have in the finals? Oh, and then App State kept losing in the finals for a while. And then Chattanooga. So then we go to 197. And I believe App State had taken the lead at 184 when Thomas Brooker won for App State. So then you go to 197 at heavyweight is both Chattanooga and App State in the finals against one another. So the first one is a major decision for Cade Rule of Chattanooga, freshman wrestling there. Gets it done over Logan Eller. Then you go to the finals. Stephen Monchery, majored Ethan Vergara of Chattanooga 11-1 to claim the title for Appalachian State. So shout out to them. They got it done. They had 3 qualifiers by virtue of having 3 champions. Bellarmine had 2 champs at 157 and 174 in Prechtel and Odell. Chattanooga had Flynn and Rule at 125 and 197. Davidson had Heap. Oh, yeah, I wanted to shout out Davidson, too. At 149. Gets it done in overtime. So Davidson gets it done and sends somebody to the NCAAs, which is great for them. Where is it? VMI. 165.
That's 65.
Yeah, Vigil was like the last seated dude and just showed up and kicked everyone's ass and is walking away.
Beat Snipes.
Yeah, he's going to Cleveland, man. So very happy for them. Yeah, really, really cool one. VMI gets it one. And then obviously we talked about TK Davis just being a super beast.
He scored so many points.
He did. And they left 9 on the board.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there were 9 more points.
Takedowns,
yeah. He did. And shout out to Ethan Urochuk for Chattanooga. Like, you're going to try to wrestle through the positions because you're going to get 6 seconds of reaction time. So you're going to keep wrestling, But no, it really was like an awesome tournament. Lots of fun. And yeah, pretty much everybody, every team except for Campbell and Presbyterian had a national qualifier. And the Citadel, I'm sorry, they didn't have one?
Snipes will probably grab a
yeah.
large. One comment about the SoCon. Why do their brackets look like they made them in Microsoft Excel? What the fuck is this?
Maybe they did.
In Corby?
Yeah.
This is like a middle school tournament bracket. Like
Google Sheets.
It's color coded. It's fantastic.
I'd still much rather have this than look at Arena.
That's fair. At least it's not like zoomed out. That big.
Yeah. Pac-12.
Since Claunch fucked up the alphabetical order here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did that too with EIWA. Well, no, EIWA and Ivy were right in the same mix. Yeah, you're good on that.
I can't spell.
It's all good. Pac-12. I mean, that tournament, you split it. You started at 12:30, and then the finals are at 6. You could have wrestled it straight through. You honestly should have started it at 9 a.m. and been home by 1. Let's call it what it is. I mean, you've got 4 teams in there. Oregon State comes away with the win. The big match again this year was at 197. Stephen Little beats Justin Rademacher. Last year, I think Stephen Little lost to AJ Ferrari. I believe that was last year.
That's correct.
This year, he beats Rademacher 4-3. I'm trying to see. It was mostly a little. I mean, a lot of Little Rock guys in here. But as I
Holman
said,
with a big upset over Renteria at 25
yeah,
was big.
the one at 165, Matt Olguin. Been a fan of Olguin for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can make it on the podium this year. I would love to see him make it on the podium. Like I said, I've been watching him since he was like a 106-pound little freshman out of Buchanan back home in California. So seeing him at 165, honestly, pretty crazy. But always a fan of seeing him win. He wins it at 165, 8-3. Let's see who else they had in here.
Yeah, Bianchi losing at 65 was crazy too. That was a big upset there.
It was a very big upset.
Yeah.
And there's only one Bianchi in the bracket, isn't there?
He's the last one, I believe, right?
Yeah, because they were both on the team last year, and one graduated.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah. Berg beat him in the semis. He will likely grab. I would think he'll get an at-large. Yeah, he should be. So looking at Pirates projections, he would be number 1 on the list, and then Lillard, then Snipes. So that makes sense.
I got a shout out real quick. I just saw this on the ACC feed here, and I'm watching. Sean Gray's fit for the finals.
That shirt was intense.
Dude, talk about Magnum PI. He's got a big bright shirt on, and it's of course short sleeved, and some pretty tight khakis.
I don't think he owns any long sleeve shirts.
I'm
anything that goes halfway, more than halfway over his biceps.
If I had the balls, I would wear those clothes. I don't. I've ripped them in half already trying to wrestle like Caleb Larkin.
Yeah, Gray's always gonna show off the pipes.
The other thing to hit on ACC wise, I thought that I needed to emphasize this. Go back and watch Bryce Hefner's interview after his semifinals. It was a good interview, and he was pretty wide open about some things. So that's a good one. He wrestled really well. So go back and take a look at that one.
Are we missing any conferences? We've talked SoCon, we've talked Pac-12.
I think that's
Big 10, Big 12, EIWA, Ivy, ACC.
Big 12. Other big surprise was Christian Carroll not wrestling well, going 1 and 2. And then referee wise, whoever can explain to me how the fuck Joey Novak was not out with an escape, good luck.
We talked about this before we started recording, but literally, like, the only reason if you're Joey Novak that you continue wrestling through that position is because you are so confident that at a minimum you are going to be given loss of control. Otherwise, there's no reason to try to continue to fight for that reversal, with the exception of like you win the match, right? But
yeah,
you're just so like, all right, well, clearly I am in control of this situation because he is defending himself now and trying to get away from this because I am controlling the situation. That's why. But so
I reversed this.
Right.
Yeah, that was wild.
Usually how it works, but why logically score it like that and referee it like that?
I saw an instance this weekend where a guy was on bottom, got to his feet, somehow got the other guy's leg up in the air like he was finishing a takedown, but the other guy whose leg was in the air was still getting riding time, and he gave up a riding time point because it became a minute like that. I just want to look. You look at that position, like, wait, which guy's in control? That doesn't make any damn sense.
That's just dumb wrestling by the guy on bottom. Like you gotta know.
You gotta have the awareness.
Yeah.
I
you gotta
agree,
let the leg go. Yeah.
When you look at it, it's like, huh? Who? That guy's in control? How?
I'm like, I haven't done it yet this year, and I'm gonna insist on it next year. But like, even with the youth, I mean, there's no riding time, but it's just gonna be a practice where we're literally just going over like situations. Mm-hmm. Like one is less than 2. However, 4 is greater than 2. So you get your 1, and then you go get 3 more points, right? You're on the edge of the mat. There's short time. There's all these little things where it's just like awareness, general situational understanding of what's going on.
Yep.
Man, I think we've hit everything. Just about. We talked
Long
women's, we
episode.
talked about all the
Enjoy.
conferences. I think we've hit everything, honestly. We'd love to obviously hear from anybody listening or watching. I know we gave shout outs to our sponsors, Poseidon Strength and Adidas Wrestling. There's one other, I guess, discount code that we need to add in for the postseason, and that is for Matt Talk Online. Shout out to Jason Bryant for sending over a discount code so you can use QuadPod. You can get $10 off of the Matt Talk Online guide. If anybody knows Jason Bryant, you know that he is the person to go to when it comes to all things wrestling history. And I want to say a couple of years ago, him and I did an interview. We talked about how he preps for his international tournaments, as well as just compiling all of the stats. A while back, when I was getting ready to do commentary in Nashville, he sent us his prototype. It's kind of like a head-to-head guide for basically anything, right? So we were able to toggle to whichever wrestler we were going to be talking about, and up popped their entire resume. And as I said before, Fretwell joked like, what the hell, this doesn't go back far enough. Where's all the roller tournaments and stuff? And the next day we had the roller tournaments that were plugged into this freaking thing. So shout out to Jason Bryant for always being the encyclopedia that we need him to be.
The real big unit, Jason Bryant.
That guy right there.
We use that as the code.
There you go. Let's change the quad pod code, Jason, to big unit. Let's not talk that up. He might actually do it. I'm gonna get another text message tomorrow after he listens to this, and he's just gonna be like, "It's now changed to the big unit." But no, use the discount code QuadPod. You'll get $10 off of Jason Bryant's guide, so that you guys are prepared for the NCAA tournament this year. I'm pretty sure that if you do buy this guide, you will end up smarter when it comes to wrestling. You still won't know what a takedown is, but you will certainly know who wrestled in the finals in 1998 and who won at 174 pounds. So,
question, Holmes, will having this guide help in the shoe giveaway that we're going to do as well?
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe we'll pull some trivia out of the guide and have a trivia question that comes right out of the Jason Bryant guide. So we are going to, as you alluded to, thank you, Austin, to our shoe giveaway. We'll post everything on Monday once we get everything situated with the Pick'em contest. And then maybe the tiebreaker question or something will be something from Jason Bryant's guide. So
make sure you use page dissertation on what a takedown is.
Exactly. And then, yes, you have to explain to every single one of us what a takedown is and give a good reason for reaction time as well.
I prefer
we'll probably
PowerPoint.
Still veto it, but I'll tell you right now, you're already wrong if you think you know what a takedown is, because most of us do not. But no, make sure you're using discount codes for Adidas Wrestling, for Poseidon Strength, and for the Matt Talk Online Guide by Jason Bryant. Shout out to all our sponsors, as well as Jason Bryant, who isn't a sponsor, but is just a very good phone number to certainly have. So appreciate him. Appreciate you guys for listening and watching the Quad Pod. There are all those questions in there. Tell us how stupid we are. Tell us how much you, hate some of our takes. But make sure that you keep listening and watching the Quad Pod, as well as all the wrestling. And we'll see you guys next week when we do our own picks for NCAAs. Peace.